We spoke last week about, the first week without a midweek game. How beneficial has that been to the squads this week in terms of rest, recovery, and in training?
Yeah, beneficial because they had the Monday off on the back of the exploits of recent weeks and the game time and the travelling involved. Unfortunately, we picked up a couple of injuries in the game on Saturday and also on Tuesday, our first day back on a training pitch. So not ideal preparation going into the weekend. Injuries happen in football, and the timing of it certainly isn't perfect going into sort of a 3-game week with Charlton, Shrewsbury and Burton respectively. But we're still looking forward to this weekend's fixture. And when the fixtures come out at the start of the season, you look at the Charltons and Ipswich and Portsmouth of the world to see when you go in there, Sheffield Wednesday, because these are the best stadiums, the biggest stadiums, most well-backed football clubs at this level, financially backed as well, good squads of quality players. So a game you always look forward to, and a game we go in there on the back of a good result at home to MK last weekend.
You mentioned injuries there. Obviously, Alex Hartridge had picked up that injury. Tim Dieng went off on Saturday and Sam Stubbs was absent. What's an update on those 3 players?
Yeah, Alex is still struggling, I'm afraid. He's had a scan this week, so we're waiting to see his results. Same for Tim Dieng. Neither of those players will be available for the weekend. Time will tell in relation to Sam Stubbs. And then, unfortunately, Harry Smith picked up a knock on his first day of training on Tuesday, so he's not trained with us as yet. Bar the 2 minutes he was on the pitch on Tuesday. So a few tests in the next couple of days, a few late calls. We've not got a big enough squad to be rotating players and looking after players, so we need everyone fit and ready. And we'll certainly be tested with this 3-game week coming up. But all our thoughts are on the first of those 3 games, and that's Charlton. And players will want to play. Naturally, they want to play in this game of football. I hope we've got enough players to put our competitive team.
Let's talk about Charlton. And one of your former clubs, of course, last time we played there, you were playing. It's probably going to be the biggest crowd that we've played in for quite some time. How do you prepare the players for that kind of atmosphere?
I've not spoken to them about it. I don't think I need to. The majority of these players have played in big games, big atmospheres, in front of big crowds. We had it at Bradford to a certain extent over the last couple of seasons. Fantastic place to play, but even if there's sort of 16,000 people, I think it's only just over half full. It's such a big stadium. The main thing will be the size of the pitch, the quality of the pitch, the expectation and the pressure on the home team and ourselves as little old Exeter City going up there to hopefully provide an upset of some sort and provide a performance that brings back some sort of point return. So there's no pressure on this group of players. If there was pressure on them, then I'd speak about the expectation and the feel around the stadium. But one to embrace, one to enjoy. The Charlton supporters are fantastic. I know that firsthand from the time I spent there. They'll be getting behind their team, and I think we're going quite well supported this weekend as well. Maybe not in the same numbers as the home fans, but I'm sure we'll be singing our hearts out. So we've got to understand what we need to be this weekend. As always, we're away from home, so the toughness aspect, our defensive aspect, we've got to be on top of our game. But as always, I speak about packing a punch away from home, and somehow we'll have to force certain moments of this game and turn them into fantastic moments for ourselves.
You mentioned the away support there. Just under 1,500 tickets sold at the moment. It's not often that we take such a large crowd away from home. I think we had 1,200 at Swindon last season and similar at Bristol Rovers. But to have 1,500 in a big stadium, it's great to see the fans getting so behind the team. I mean, we talk about how great they are all the time, but 1,500 should be a great atmosphere for them.
Yeah, and that's probably a reflection of what we're doing as a football club, or how we're doing as a football club at the moment. Not only on the back of the promotion, but the start to life in League One, bringing Jay back to the club last weekend. And we've had so many messages in the last week or 10 days that Exeter City is a club that people care about. Not only our supporters and people want to watch this group of players. People want to watch it because somehow we're competing in League One with a group of academy products and players who are basically out of contract previously a couple of seasons ago at League Two level. So they're doing fantastically well, and they deserve that support. They appreciate that support. And also that support network will be looking to go to one of these big stadiums and big grounds and a big club at the level to see if we can provide an upset or a shock of some sort. But also with the expectation that we're good enough to compete against these massive football clubs for the level. So hope and expectation is an incredible thing, and the feeling of the club in terms of the wonder of what's next for Exeter City is exciting people, and hence why we sold so many tickets for this weekend. And hopefully it's not just this weekend at Charlton. Hopefully it'll be a similar sort of story when we go to Shrewsbury a Tuesday night, and then at home to Burton the following weekend, and hopefully it just continues.
Ben Garner in charge at Charlton. He's a manager, obviously we know well from being manager of Swindon last season. From what you've seen, has he instilled what he had at Swindon with Charlton? Is he playing a completely different style? Is there just snippets of it? From your analysis, what do you expect from Charlton?
It's difficult because we're still only 6 or 7 games into the league campaign, so it's probably too early to judge that assessment. There's certain principles and aspects of their play which are similar to Swindon last season. A couple of players, obviously, they brought the goalkeeper. I think the lad Payne. I think one of the fullbacks from Swindon last season. So, some familiar faces in the opposition team. No more so than Jayden at the top end of the pitch. It'd be great to catch up with him this weekend. Let's not forget we sold Jayden to a Championship club 4 years ago for a significant amount of money. So that tells you what Charlton are as a football club. We can't affect the way that they build into the game. All we can do is affect what happens on the football pitch. And like I say, we will have to be at our best to have any chance of getting something from the game this weekend. But if we're at our best, then I expect us to put in a performance. I'm following on for that performance. If we get things right, then we can certainly hurt the opposition. So a game at the start of the season, when you look at the big clubs at the level, Charlton away is one you look forward to, and I'm sure our fans have done the same, hence why those ticket sales are so strong.